Hey everybody, it's Bust with Bust Builds Decks number 27, continuing our playthrough of Balatro. And so in our previous video, we finished off the black stake with the checkered deck. This one, we're going to be moving up the stakes into blue. See if we can't finish off this entire deck before our time with Balatro is done. So let's see what turns up. Exciting stuff, I'm sure. And so we'll do battle with this one. The rerolls in the next shop stop at 0 is probably the the worst tag you can actually start the game out with. And the second piece, I do like. The initial cards in the next shop are free. We'll probably skip that. And then the random discards is not too painful for the flush deck here in the early game. All right. Let's dive on in. No flushes to start. Too bad. Let's try and get this big heart flush together, see if we can't get out of here with one hand. Remember, we're short a discard now. Moving up the stakes takes that away from you. You get used to it, like when you're just kind of cruising through. You go from the 4-3 down to the 4-2, and it's kind of tough to get it in your head that it's gone. You just start churning through those discards in the early game. Don't quite have as much. All right, so what do we got here? Convert left card to right is fine. Pluto, I mean, I do like the high card planets, but this is a little early. I think with this pack, you either just take the Arcana pack or nothing, and probably just go with nothing, right? With the Arcana pack, they're really just hoping to hit like Joker stuff, and just getting a random Joker at this point doesn't sound very good. So onwards and upwards, we'll skip the big blind to get the free shop. Into the hook. Again, I suspect no trouble here. A bit unfortunate. We have another hand that... Oh, we do have the flush. I thought we had another 4-4 hand to where one short of each flush and we're forced to discard, but good start. This will be over 300 chips. See if we can't get out of here with 2. Get up to these big spades. Maybe get up to them. There it is. That's the kind of hand you want to see. Give us those maximum dollars coming out of here. Ain't nothing better than maximum dollars. It's my mantra, if you will. Mo money, mo problems. Maximum dollars. Pretty much the same thing. All right, so what do we got? Interesting stuff. The Gross Michael, the banana, just hard carries you until it's gone, right? This is one of the very high-powered early game jokers. Happy enough to take it since it's free. But let's see how this goes from now. I want to take the Arcana pack next. If we take a Joker out of here, probably should have done it in this order first, right? If we're going to get a Joker out of these and then use the Wheel of Fortune, we don't really want the Wheel of Fortune landing on the banana because it's going to destroy itself, but not a big deal. But let's take the convert to spades, right? We don't want to convert to diamonds. The malt card thing doesn't give us a ton of direction, but we can at least upgrade the spades here just a little bit. It does feel like kind of a 6-point swing with the flush deck, right? You take 3 hearts out, add 3 spades in. It's kind of like a 6-card difference. Not entirely, but just kind of. And then here, these all suck. I don't think a 2 of spades is worth taking just to have a spade. The only interesting one is the red seal, and we'll just skip over that. All right, this is where we hit. Nope. I was like, if you're going to hit on the Wheel of Fortune, this is the time when it's going to do it. You just hit on the banana, then the banana immediately kills itself. But all right, let's move forward. I guess I'm fine high rolling on a rare Joker. We'll do battle against the 2-pair upgrade here. It's not a bad upgrade, but you know, it is kind of one of my problems with the game, right? There's no real reason to play towards a very specific set of hands, right? You really either play towards a pair or a high card, or you play towards flushes and you don't play towards anything else. I wish there was a lot more incentive to play towards things like 2 pairs other than square tag, right? And so it kind of is what it is, I guess. But let's see what we can do here. This first hand should easily get us out. We're pretty close to the straight flush, but whenever we hit the 15 malt off of this Gross Michael, we're just going to get out of here anyways. And so this is what it's called, right? Is this like French for Gross Michael? Gross Michel? I don't know, man. That's not how we spell it in America. right, our banana sticks around though. Get them max dollars. What do we got? Rare Joker. Uncommon Jokers give 1.5x malt. I mean, it's strong if you can activate it. It's just very tough to actually come in and build around. Like, we could try and build around it at this stage, right? We are fairly early in the run. We can try and dig up some uncommon Jokers, but it's like this is the same value as like a steel card. I don't think it's going to actually give us too much. And the thing that I'm worried about is we haven't really upgraded coming into the boss. I mean, the banana should be strong enough, but the thing I have a real worry about here is we'll beat the boss because of the banana. The banana's going to break, then we're going to go into the next round. And we don't have enough upgrades to beat round 3, ante 3 round 1, and so ante 3 small blind. And so I think we're kind of stuck using an Arcana pack, hoping we can get some upgrades in here, but we're hurting a little bit. But what do we got? Wild card, double tarot card, or Joker? Let's just create a Joker. If it's uncommon, we might actually consider coming back and taking the baseball card, but I don't think it's going to happen. Was this 12 malt if the hand contains a straight? Another hand will play literally never. This is how the game is set up, right? You can either maybe play a straight and get 12 malt, or you can use the banana and get a guaranteed 15. Take your pick. Take your pick. All right, let's just look for a little bit of a higher flush. Like, I think we'll be safe with a 1-card hand here anyways, but we might as well take the discards and try and ensure we get out of here in one hand. Collect those dollars. Didn't ensure it. A little bit short. Fine. It's like another flush has turned its way up. And so yeah, not a great start. We have no real direction to our deck. The only useful thing that we've done is convert 3 hearts to spades. And so I'd like to find something that kind of pushes us in a direction, right? We're not going to make straights. Crazy, crazy Joker. You are crazy. We're never building towards you today. And so maybe something useful will turn up. So what do we got here? X3 malt if all cards held in hand are spades or clubs. This is fantastically powerful for the deck that we have. We're most certainly going to take it. Now, the thing that you can do with this is if you say have... I should say it's a thing that does actually work out well towards high cards, right? If you think back to our previous video where we're talking about how to use the fist and how to make the fist strong, the fist is the one that gives you double malt for the value of the lowest value card in your hand, right? So if you say you have ace 10, 3, 4, 5 in your hand, then it's going to take that 3, double it up to 6, and give you 6 malt. And so the way that you try to get away from that is you play high cards. So you play 1 high card, you play the 4 smallest cards in your hand, and that guarantees that the 5th, card in your hand is going to be the one that's coming in and doubling. Now the blackboard does very similar things, and cards held in hand are the cards that you have in your back line. So you play a hand, whatever's up front is up front. What remains in the back is what activates the blackboard. And so the same idea can happen here, is to where, say that we play ace of hearts, queen of hearts, jack of hearts, 3 of hearts, and then we have just 5 random spades in the back line. That's going to be enough to activate the blackboard. And so it's a card that seems like it should be very flush centric. We will look to play flushes with it. That's a high scoring hand, but the high card red cards is actually going to be the strongest way to come in and activate this thing. It's a little bit counterintuitive if you haven't done it, but it's very straightforward once you actually see it happen. All right, so moving on, I think I'm fine to pick up this polychrome Joker. We need something. It's not ultra strong in the sense that we don't have a lot of flat malt to begin with, but if you do manage to spike some of the spade cards, like 8 malt for playing a spade or something, you can get some real value out of it there. And so let's just take the skip. I think we're strong enough to beat the big blind here. I'm not interested in just gaining 6 gold from it. And I did pick up the Hierophant off the previous pack to where we can get the bonus chips if we need them. But right, this is exactly what I'm talking about. If we want to play something like this red flush, then we have only black cards in the back line. That's going to activate the blackboard. Now, it's not ultra strong once this banana goes away, right? The banana is currently going to convert into 45 malt, but I think this is the way that we'll end up playing this game forward. So we get 11 chips, 15 malt, X3. Now, I think we can take a discard. Well, this is probably just strong enough, right? That two pair that we were talking about earlier and never playing. we get the two pair here this way, doing the same thing. It's just a much higher scoring hand. I don't think we need to use the Hierophant just yet. We'll save it just in case this hand doesn't go as strongly as I expect it will. That's about 2500. Yeah. So I think we should be safe. If we want, we did hit jacks full of 5s, but we're stuck with a 7 back here. Say, let's discard the 7 and see if another black card turns up. And now we can play the full house. Cool. But see, that's exactly what I'm talking about in terms of the gameplay there, though. The discard isn't really reliable, right? We're basically coin flipping. We discard one card, essentially 50-50 in our deck. I know that's not exact, but essentially coin flipping to hit a black card in hand to activate the black board. But if we just play all the red cards forward with a high card strategy, then we much more easily get it. No, man, well, that was a pack. I don't know what jokers these are, but that was some big stuff happening here. And both of these are quite strong. This is going to be good. And so Splash ties in fantastically with that strategy we were just talking about, right? So we play a high card. Typically, the 3 cards to the right don't score. They will score now. Now, it doesn't give a ton of points, but it's definitely a good, build around thing here. And then the Swashbuckler is going to be fine as well. We do need some flat chip stuff. That's kind of what Splash counts as, right? It's not good flat chip stuff. So say we play like Ace 7, 3, 4, 2, right? So that 7, 3 is 10, 4, 2 is 16. It's only giving like flat 16 chips. It's something we would look to sell at some point unless we pick up, say, like Odd Todd. But the Swashbuckler, it is kind of awkward in the sense that we want it before the X malt cards, and that's going to take away some of the Joker value. But it's still a very good start. Getting that flat 50 chips and the splash value here, I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and end this pack, though. See if we can't get back up over 25 before the next round starts. All right, well, sometimes you just get to play a flush, right? Easy. Okay, next battle. Next battle. What does this add to the sell value of the Jokers? Okay, the sell value on Splash is 4. I was like, I wonder if we should actually swap these around, but not the case. So what do we got? +2 malt for re-rolling in the shop. It's like I'm kind of fine with it this early in the run, but re-rolls are just so expensive. I'm not really that interested in it. And then we do have our second straight card turn up. All of these are just pure garbage, right? We've played 0 straights up to this point. Now, granted, we haven't put a lot of effort into it, but we're just getting a flat 50 chips off the Swashbuckler. We'll probably even get more chips. I guess we won't get more chips off of the Splash, but these straights are just so ridiculous to play towards. All right, let's start opening Arcana packs. This is a double. Maybe the Hermit will turn up. Maybe not. So we got Create 2 Tarets, Gold card, Malt card, Lucky card, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So I think I'm looking to go this way. Let's say use the bonus card on 2 hearts. I wonder, I'm not certain which is more optimal here. I think we're going to be playing the hearts more frequently, but in a perfect world, we would have more access to just playing like just entirely spade hands. But we picked up some real garbage here. Convert cards to hearts we don't want. I'm just going to sell it. Create planet cards. I guess we can use. It's not that exciting. And otherwise, let's just roll it. It's the perfect strategy every time, huh? Just roll the dice. Just roll them. So we hit high card. I'm going to use it. We hit 4 of a kind for the other one. I'm just going to go ahead and sell that. All right, next round. So what do we got? Celestial Pack is garbage. Reroll the boss blind. Against the Needle. It's tough. Like, I think that we can beat the Needle given the state of our deck right now. I think we'll really struggle against the Needle if our banana blows up. And so we'll have to think about this situation. We're going to battle the small blind. We'll know after this round if we're going to have the banana. Well, it's like we don't even really know. Because if it destroys right now, we can skip the next blind to just reroll. But if we play the next one, we won't know if we're still going to have the banana. So that's kind of tough. We'll see how we feel. Maybe we can get rid of the crazy Joker at this point. I want some kind of plus scoring before we go and battle the Needle. What do we got? When the blind is selected, gain +3 hands and lose all discards. It's not horrible. One thing to note with the Burglar is if you're against the Needle to where you get 1 hand, you actually get 4 with this, right? It +3s your hands after the fact, and so it can be a very viable way to come in and beat the Needle. The downside with this one is we're going to be stuck with this thing forever. I guess I'm kind of okay with it. As we push towards kind of a high card strategy, this would be viable in that sense. Let's just go ahead and go for it. All right, next round. Just pure garbage in there otherwise. So we're going to battle the Needle. This is where our banana's going to go boom. It's the name of my new band. Name of my new sex tape. Go and Google search that one. You want to see some good pornography today. Banana Goes Boom. Starring Bust. You're welcome. If you watched our what's coming up on the channel, I had to make note on Steam and the deck builder sale. There's just like an absolute ton of titty games. Like I guess there's a market for that, or they wouldn't be so popular on there. But I had to take a lot of effort in my scrolling to not just highlight, have a bunch of titties pop up, and have YouTube take away my 5 cents for making the video. And so it's tough. I think we made it through though. We did okay. So, all right, what do we got here? Interesting stuff. And so the Space Joker, we're kind of too far along with. Like, this is a card I kind of like to high roll with in the early game, right? The 1 in 4 chance to upgrade the level of a hand. And so if you're in that space of, say, playing high cards, you play a high card, you play a high card, you play a high card, it gives you 3 chances to upgrade the physical level of the high card thing, and then you play a flush and get out of the round. And then after that, you're able to just sell it on, say, like round 6 or round 7 after you've had the chance for upgrades. But we're definitely not in that space here on ante number 4, and it's eternal, so we'd just be stuck with it forever. So the one that is interested to me is Square Joker. We made mention of him when we were talking about 2 pairs earlier. This is something that works kind of nicely here. If we just start playing 4-card red card hands, we can really come in and upgrade this, and I think it's going to be much better than something like Splash. It's probably slightly better than Swashbuckler in terms of just chip generation. So what I'm thinking is maybe we just go ahead and finally sell the banana. It's probably a massive mistake to get rid of the banana, but it's going to we're going to lose it at some point, and so let's at least take a little bit of agency in when it goes. Now we can snatch up this Arcana pack, start dropping some Wheel of Fortunes, probably just double our money. This is a choose 2, so I'm definitely going to Hermit, and then I think we want to continue to swap. We had spades in here, right? Yeah, convert 3 to spades. And so, I mean, ideally, we're just going to play a spade flush with a bunch of spades within our hand. Well, we're not going to be playing too many flushes with Square Joker, but I think we still want to get as spade heavy as we possibly can. Now with this, I'm not entirely certain how Stone Card works with the blackboard. We need to physically play the card. I worry about like building towards Square Joker and building towards blackboard and building towards Stone Cards all at the same time. They do work nicely with the high card kind of strategy, but I guess we can always just use discards if we have to, right? That's not too crazy of an idea. So see, now we're at the Needle. you only get to play one hand, right? But if you look at our hands, we have 4. That's what the burglar does in this round. So a touch awkward. I do want to continue to level up the square joker. We're going to try and play 4 cards every single time unless we absolutely have to play a flush. And so I think we should be looking strong in this space. Now, this does put us in the spot as to where maybe we should try and push it a little harder to just get more level ups on the square joker, but not really a fan of chasing that strategy. And so we'll just continue to play the worst possible the worst possible hand we can with only 4 cards, but I'm not going to try and min-max super hard on that thing. If that's what it takes to beat the top stakes, I guess that's what it is, but we'll just play a single high card here. We only need 800 chips. This should just easily nail it, but we'll at least give ourselves an opportunity to play a 4th hand. 3500. Cool. All right, so what's here now? The face cards thing, not super interested in. Ace high straights we're never playing. I guess the voucher is kind of okay just to collect a bunch of money. And then not interested in the Celestials in the back line. We could have started rolling here if we didn't hit the economy joker, but I think that's fine. And I think we're looking to play through both of these. Double tag is whatever. 20 gold. Not horrible. We might end up skipping for the 20 gold on the next round, but I think we're looking to play through all of these. And the final boss was a discard boss. Okay, so high card hand, 4 card hand with all of the red cards. We'll figure it out. We'll get it all out there. Okay, so that was a 4,000 chip hand. Oh, we have 6 hands to go. This is gonna be no trouble finishing this off. So yeah, this is the state of the game that really kind of bothers me, in the sense that like I can visualize what the optimal strategy is here, right? We get to play 7 hands in the round. That gives us 7 opportunities to upgrade the square joker. You want to play literally 7 4-card hands over and over and over and over and over again, so you get to continue to level this thing up. But number 1, that's kind of fucking boring. And number 2, that takes a lot of mental effort to sit around and do all the math to determine, you know, how much it takes to beat this thing. And, you know, it's tough in terms of trying to get to the upper echelon of the stakes to where you really have to kind of min-max every single round to get there. But the amount of homework that it takes to figure out all of this addition in every single round and how to pop off all of this stuff really just isn't something that I'm interested in doing. And so it's part of the reason we're kind of pushing away from Balatro once we get up to video number 30. Is it's interesting, like when you like, I'm not upset about it. There's 2 different things to kind of take into consideration. Like, number 1 is if you look at a game like Slay the Spire, there's not too many people that just run around on Ascension 20 for funsies, right? You'll occasionally try and play Ascension 20 when you really want to try hard and beat it, but if you're just trying to have a more casual run, if you're capable of beating Ascension 20, your kind of funsies runs might be like Ascension 15, right? And that was kind of the space I got into with Slay the Spire. I was getting up into like Ascension 17 and 18 on all of the characters, but that wasn't super fun to do all of the time. And so I would typically just play on like 13 or 14 or so, and that was challenging enough to where it felt like I could lose, but not so challenging to where I felt like if I made a minor mistake that the run was just completely done and over with. And so like I know that exists for Balatro, but it's tough for me to just kind of like flip the switch in the content creation space of just being like, you know, we're playing on the black stake today, and that's as high as we're gonna go, because that's where I'm having the most fun, right? I always have that switch in my head that says, yeah, but there's a tougher one you could do. Why aren't you playing the tougher one? And so it's tough to get there. But on the flip side, that's my problem with Path of Champions and Legends of Runeterra, right? There's no way to dial the difficulty always gets easier, right? So you do a run, you level up, your deck gets better. You do a run, you level up, your deck gets better. You do a run, you level up, your deck gets better. And so if you had like a very fun, like difficulty experience within the game, you're never allowed to go back to that, right? And so if you want to have, you know, a 75% skill level challenge, you can never go back because you played a run and upgraded your deck. Everything from that point forward is going to be easier. And that's ultimately been why I had trouble getting, you know, really hooked in on Path of Champions. We're getting on tangents here though. Let's jump back into here. I'm fine to pick up the 2-pair now. You know, we'll probably play some 2-pairs along the way, given the state of our square joker. And then we should probably open up some packs. We're not getting max money this way, but I would like to acquire some of the high-powered cards within here. There is a polychrome joker. This is the kind of thing that's very good if we're going to keep splash, but I don't think that's the case. But down here with the red seal stone card for just like 100 chips anytime we play it, that is pretty huge. All right, and this next one, steel red card. I don't want any steel red cards. We're always going to be playing our red cards, and so I think we'll skip over all of these. Same with the gold. We're never going to hold the gold. So we can gain 20 if we skip. Just do battle. Get some of those upgrades out here. All right, then we'll just continue on with the same style. Doesn't seem like we're struggling to hit these chips. We'll see what this hand looks like. It's kind of the top end of the high cards. 5K. All right, we're getting there. This square joker is starting to get leveled up. Got a 9 high here. Okay, 5 hands to go. Let's do this. Let's do this. We'll see if we can't finish this round off with the 4-of-a-kind jacks. But square joker's really moving up in the world. There's the 4-of-a-kind jacks. We'll play that on the next one, right? Would that get us 5K? I guess we can run out another hand. This is gonna ruin it. We're not gonna get to play our 4-of-a-kind because we're out here derping around with the other hands. Fully scoring on this ace high. Oh, we did get to play it. All right, there it is. Jacks on stacks on stacks. That's my rap lyric for the day. We got my porno for the day. We got my rap lyric for the day. I'm bringing you everything you could possibly need in your life. Good stuff. All right, so what do we got here? 4-of-a-kind joker. Don't want. +3 malt for each joker card. It's definitely better than Swashbuckler. Like, I'm feeling pretty good with the square joker just being our chip card for the game. We're on ante 5 and it's up to 72. A very real chance this is up to like 200 before the time we get to the end, and so we don't really need the flat chips. Otherwise, the splash does kind of suck. I think that's probably worse than the Swashbuckler. So we'll just pick up the abstract joker, fit him in. Let's crack this buffoon pack. Maybe we'll hit a negative or something, but again, with like my big problems with the game, right? The abstract joker is giving us a flat 15. That 4-of-a-kind joker was giving a 20. So we can have this one joker that gives us 15 malt every single time, or we can have a joker that gives you the second most hardest to make hand in the game, give +5 malt, right? Like the numbers are just so far out of tune that that's why you see this space to where you're either just building high cards or flushes every single game. That there's no like real incentive to build towards 4-of-a-kinds. What do we got? 8 malt for a pair. It does actually work with our deck, but we should be getting, Yeah, we're getting 7 out of the Swashbuckler. Okay, we'll skip all these. Arcana pack, sure. Why not? The Hermit at worst, otherwise we have the Tower. Let's just take the Tower. I think our finances are in pretty good order here. Okay, so after play or discard, always draw 3. I typically mess this round up every single time. Now that we're not out here just actively discarding stuff, it probably won't be as bad. We're going to be playing 4-card hands, so we will eventually run out of hands to play. But then we can just play a small hand. Starting with 7, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape anyways. 13k off the high card ace. This is one of the few hands to where we were getting quite a few bonus chips, right? That would have been 25 bonus chips if we were scoring every card, or actually 55 with the bonus card in there. We'll quickly outclass that with the square joker. Interested to see how big this is with the double scoring stone card. $18K. Not bad. Still had 3 hands to go. So yeah, in terms of what's happening here, I think we're pretty locked and loaded for this run. I do want to get rid of the Swashbuckler for another card that gives us malt. Ideally, we would want flat malt instead of X. Like X3 is pretty good, but otherwise not too much going on here. And so, yeah, again, permanently gain a hand. That's fine. I do like Shoot the Moon. Get the bonus for each queen held in hand. Very easy to get like plus 26 off of this, and then it does give us a little bit more direction in terms of what to use with our Arcana packs. And so I think that's going to be fine. Let's go ahead and sell this Swashbuckler. Is okay mid-game joker, not a very strong late-game joker. Let's pick up the voucher, get the additional hand every turn. Up to 8. My stance on this is it's typically, if you get it early in the run, it's close to paying for itself, but here it's only going to cost like 4 or 5 gold. And then if you really need that extra hand, then it's better than not losing. And so, usually fairly happy with it. Oh boy, create a legendary joker. So we can't sell the burglar. It's tough. That's tough. I mean, it's kind of a big high roll, but I think I want to take this as conservatively as we can. So I'm going to sell the Shoot the Moon. We'll use the Spectral. This is just the mass scoring one, right? This is the one where I thought I was going to say a bunch of... it's Perkeo. I looked it up a couple of videos ago. I kept calling this like Pachinko or Pacheco. Like there's a lot of words that sound similar to that to me. Like Pacheco was the Chiefs running back, and then Pachinko was the one I thought was me saying racist stuff. I looked it up. It's Japanese pinball that's like a slot machine. So I wasn't doing bad. I wasn't out here just saying complete stuff that was being ridiculous. But... what is this again? Create a negative copy of one random consumable card in your possession at the end of the shop. So let me read that again. Create a negative copy of one random consumable card in your possession at the end of the shop. So we need to find like an Arcana if we can. I'm not going to roll super hard, but that's where we're going to be with that thing. So what do we got here? Foil. I'm not opposed to it. Then upgrade 2 pair by 3 levels is actually not that bad. Extra large big blind at the wall. I think we're pretty safe to beat it with 8 hands. So let's actually just play through the foil tag. I think I'm gonna skip on 2 pair though. We might actually just like being able to do something like this is a pretty big score, right? 4 cards, 2 pair, all of our reds. We're not gonna do it here because we're just trying to score up, but. A lot of potential for that kind of nonsense. So Perkeo, we'll see if we can find a way to make usage out of that. This is the way when people are doing like super high chip runs. You'll get like a steel tarot card early on, then make a steel tarot card every turn of the game. Or you'll use this one and then get the, there's a joker that lets you play planet cards out of your hand as kind of like steel cards. So if you have the high card planet within your consumable area, it activates like a steel card whenever you play a high card, and that lets you get these monstrous scores. But we'll see at ante number 6 if we're able to pick up a good tarot card fast enough. I mean, realistically, a high card planet would probably just be enough. It's a hand I'd be very interested in leveling up the rest of the way. I wonder if that's the way we should go. Like, trying to play towards 2 pair sounds kind of memey. Like, I feel like we're just gonna try and play high card every single turn. Now, we did play 5 hands and get 41k, and we are approaching the big blind to where we need to get 135, so we would be well short of that. We do need to kind of come up with a bigger chip avenue, if you will. So let's see, not playing straights, not playing flushes. Let's crack this Arcana pack, see if we can't find something good to hold on to. Tower's not bad, just making stone cards. Alt cards not as interested in. Oh, we have to use it though? Shit. Is what it is. Not opposed to just making a bunch of stone cards though. We'd have to have that tarot pack turn up. Maybe we have to spend more time rolling here. There's no high card. Next easiest to play is pair. And let's roll a little bit more. The Fool. Well, that could be a decent one to copy. It's not going to immediately pay off, but we can make something nice happen with that eventually. So we need to check this out, right? I'm like 99% sure that this hand does not activate the blackboard. Oh, hang on. We just have like a fucking flush in our hand? We can do it this way, but I think the stone cards count against us. We'll watch the blackboard here. Yeah, we could have taken a discard if we wanted to, but I don't think that we'll struggle to. And we're gonna have to. Let's say. Oh, this is just annoying. We're getting into the trouble zone with how these hands are coming together. We'll continue to level up the square joker. Maybe we shouldn't have played the stone here. We should have just played like the 4. And then saved the stone for an actual X-Malt hand. I think we're still okay, but it's a bit sloppy. Is that 10k or so? Yeah, we should be fine. Let's just make sure we get out of this. We'll just drop this 3 of a kind aces out here real quick. Get a big old score. Let's see. Do with the kings. We got 3 hands to go, just need 12k. Sure thing. Continue on. 3 of a kind 8s. See, this is what I kind of wish there was more support for, right? We've kind of high rolled into this 3 of a kind into 3 of a kind into 3 of a kind, but as far as the game goes, there's no real incentive to chase those hands down. You just go for high cards. So I'm curious what the thought is around like balance patches and stuff. I know the game just came out like a month ago, and I'm sure they've done a lot of balance to get it to this point, but I'd be curious to see what balance looks like, or if they even care about that kind of thing, or how it would go forward. So, all right, we can still kind of make the Fool work here. I'm going to open the standard pack first, see if anything interesting turns up. Steel Jack with the red seal is good, right? We can most certainly hang on to jacks within our hand. Now we'll see what the Arcana pack brings. Whatever we take here is what's going to be activated for the Fools. And so ideally it's going to be something a little more useful in terms of what we're actually trying to do. I don't want it to be the Hanged Man. But wild card sucks. I mean, I guess we could take the Emperor. Just make a ton of tarot cards, but none of that sounds very good. At least the perk to going into the next battle with the Hanged Man is if we run into that spot we just saw to where we need to get the red cards out of our hand so that we can play the stone cards and still activate the X3, we can still delete red cards out of our hand. So maybe that'll be okay. But as far as these go, I do love the blue Joker. Very powerful card, but squares at 136. We have enough flat chips at this point, so I don't think we need it. On to the wall. And so, right, what I was talking about here is we can play this 2 red, 2 stone, but imagine we had another red card in our hand, and we were unable to drop them down, right? But now we're good. I mean, it's kind of tempting to just go ahead and start popping these red cards out of our deck. Let's do it. Let's at least get one out of here. Now we can just play like 7/6 double stone. Where are we at? 15K on that one. I just did a bit of mathematics, and that doesn't sound very good. We're gonna we're gonna have to hit some of these 2 pairs and some of these 3 of a kinds to make our way through this run. And so I think we're stuck doing kind of the same thing here. We'll Hanged Man, we'll take the 4 and the 5 out, and then we'll come over and play Ace, Ace, Jack, Jack. Now we don't have to just play 4-card hands, right? We would be more okay just like playing a big high-scoring hand and not getting a bonus 4 chips to the square joker, as opposed to just trying to get that value every single time. And so we might come out and try and play flushes or something later, or if we wanted, we could like blow up this ace and then just play the big flush that we have in our back line. But where does like this stand? 35 by 4. And then our 2 pair is 25 by 3. There's not a ton of difference in there. There is one less scoring card in it, but I think we want to save our last fool for if we really need to get some red cards out of our hand. That's not 2 pair. I just played the wrong fucking one. No. I still think that we're going to be short. Maybe we need to try and build up to a big straight flush or something. So I meant to play the 2 pair off of the jacks on the last hand. It didn't come together, though. All right, we have 6 hands left. We need, like, just under 20K a hand. So we need to start playing real hands if we can, but kind of lacking in what we have there. Okay, yeah, we're going to fall way short. We got to have good hands come together fast. So we're definitely going to go for the double stone on this one. They don't... I'm curious if it's worth just blowing up the 9. Like, what do we stand at? High card is 15 by 2. Pair is 25 by 3. It's kind of negligible, I guess, in terms of what the multiplier is. We haven't played a ton of planets this game, so it's not like we're really missing out on a lot there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're just dead. 4 hands to go. We've played half of our hands and got just under half of what we need. That is a decent 2 pair. Jacks and 10s with a bonus 10. Get full value out of it. Yep. Sucks. That sucks. So I think we got to take these red cards out. We can play this kind of bad flush. Doesn't really seem worth it, though. Let's hang on to the Hanged Man for just a moment. I think the thing we would really be looking to do is if we hit a straight flush, either ace high or king high, and then we can blow up the red cards in hand if we need to. We're getting kind of close in here. Ace, queen, jack. The jack is going to be the key card to play, though. We have to have something big and scoring with the jack on the next hand. And so there is like a straight. Again, I'm not super worried about it upgrading or not upgrading the square joker. Just getting 4 chips isn't that big of a deal. But this is going to give us maximum chances to drawing towards a big straight flush, or at the bare minimum, like a pair of jacks. I don't know what's still left in our deck, but we have to have some kind of real scoring hand with this jack involved in it to try and get out of this. Maybe. I didn't realize that the jack was going to activate the steal card twice back in our hand. That's kind of nice. So I'm thinking we'll just take this route. Let's get this 4 of spades out of here as well. Don't really need these smaller cards. All right, then we'll play the big flush. I think that's as good as we can do. Like, the high card is at mult 2. The pair is at 25 by 3. I think getting all of these extra chips is probably it. This is not going to be like a 40k hand, though. All right, well, squeeze them. Squeeze them tight, squeeze them hard. $17K, not it. And yeah, that's tough. I mean, I think the big problem in that game was taking the Perkeo. I thought that we were just going to be strong enough to meme the rest of the way through it, right? We had a pretty good go with what our cards were capable of doing. The 2 things that I guess the deck was really lacking at this point is our high card wasn't leveled up. So we were level 2 high card there at the end. I know we passed on a lot of Celestial packs, but it's typically, that's not really the space to where you're worried about it, right? You get all of your chip value out of your jokers, and upgrading high card to being like 100 by 8 isn't that big of a deal, but it's something that we were certainly lacking there. It does add up hand after hand after hand. When we're playing 8 separate hands, that does add up to more than it kind of initially sounds like. Otherwise, we could have dug a little better for the Perkeo. Like, I think that really had the chance to pop off if we had a good tarot card, right? I guess, like, we could have kept pair and then leveled pair up 3 times and tried to take that in, but I was hoping to have like a little bit better of a card for the Perkeo, be it even just something like +4 mult, something like give 2 cards +2, or the double bonus card thing. Even like Lucky Card probably would have kind of had the opportunity to pop off there a little bit, but having to just, I guess we could have just rolled through more, but I feel like that was where it was really lacking. We had a couple of choices there. It was either just don't take Perkeo, or I guess we generated it, so we could have just sold Perkeo. I'm not certain if there was a better joker to actually replace it, given such short order, or what we really needed was an adequate tarot card, right? We needed a high card Celestial, or just anything that gives bonus scoring. Because once we got past this final blind, once we got past the wall, I feel like this run was going to be very easy. Our deck was locked and loaded. Our square joker was at like 150. We were getting the X3 every time off of the blackboard. We were getting the flat 15 off of the 4th joker in line, whatever that one is. And so the place that we were really only hurting in was getting like over the hump of the wall. Like the only place I feel like we would have lost after that was, like, I think we could have even really beat something like you can't play the same hand multiple times, right? We could kind of easily play like pair, 2 pair, pair, high card, 3 of a kind. Like, those kind of hands weren't that crazy to pull about. It's just we kind of just missed on hitting something bonusy on the Perkeo. And, you know, we had 50 gold going into this. We could have rolled more, you know, at least maybe it would have been more accurate to just spend, at least say like, okay, I'm going to drop 30 gold and hopefully we find something. And if we miss after 30 gold, then, you know, it kind of is what it is. We'll hopefully be close enough. But going into this battle with the Hanged Man is just not what we wanted to do. And so I'm not quite certain what the proper answer is there. Like, if we would have found a +4 mult joker or a +4 mult tarot card and taken that into this round, we would have just smoked this with the Perkeo. And so it was just kind of a bummer that we didn't get there this way. Now, it's not to say the hangman wasn't useless, right? We did get to eliminate some red cards out of our hand to allow us to play bigger flush-based hands, but wasn't quite enough there. Oof. Nonetheless, good stuff. I had fun with that run. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way. I had a good time watching. This is Busted Me. Thank you for being here.